Hey everyone, I'm Julia and we're continuing the series of tutorials dedicated to JetFormBuilder. As you may know, Gutenberg has no tools for creating forms. However, we have a free plugin, JetFormBuilder, that can fix this problem. In case you missed it, we have a separate playlist on our channel where you can find everything on how to work with the JetFormBuilder. So make sure you save the playlist or simply subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell. This will be the safest way not to miss anything. So in our previous tutorials, we already talked about contact forms and we also took a look at patterns. Today's tutorial will be fully about patterns. Together, we will create and style this beautiful contact form using block patterns. By the way, if you want to follow some written guide or you need more information, you can go to JetFormBuilder.com and documentation. I'm sure you're all very interested, so let's get started. For this tutorial, you need only JetFormBuilder plugin and also JetStyleManager if you want to style the form at the end. JetFormBuilder plugin can be downloaded from WordPress.org and then uploaded to your website. Or simply go to Plugins, Add New, start typing JetFormBuilder in the search bar, and then click Install. Once it's activated, you'll see a separate menu tab in your website's dashboard. JetFormBuilder. To create a new form, click on Add New. You will be redirected to the blank editing window with the default form fields, hidden, text, and submit fields. You can leave them if needed, however, I will just delete them. Just like in any other Gutenberg editing window, there is a bar for the form's title at the top, and all the settings are placed in the right side column. Here on this page, you can add any blocks that are available to you. As I've said at the beginning, we have a tutorial where you can learn how to create contact form from scratch by adding field by field manually. Despite the fact that it might take some time to add all the necessary fields to your form, this approach is absolutely fine to use. Although there is an easier way. In this tutorial, we will be using patterns. To find them, click on the Add Block button, and right after the Blocks tab, you'll see Patterns. Gutenberg block patterns are small ready-made sections of a web page that can be added to any design. Here you will find a drop-down menu with all available section types like buttons, columns, text, and of course, if you have JetFormBuilder plugin installed, one more pattern type will appear, JetForms. Let's click on it. And there will be 6 different layouts for your form, such as Contact Us form, Login and Register, Application form, Subscribe form, Profile form, and Booking form. So the pattern is not a preset. It's a layout that you can customize and style up as you like. Simply speaking, patterns are made just to save your time when building a website. I will add a Contact Us form pattern since it's a contact form tutorial. But just so you know, you can apply all the steps I will be showing in this video to other form patterns. So our pattern consists of different blocks like text field block, radio field, text area field, and submit field block. They have their own settings and you can customize them individually. In case you want to add more fields to this form, simply click on the Add Block button and choose a field you need. Or you can duplicate the field you already have and change its settings. And by the way, every field block has is required toggle, so you're free to make any field required. And now let's start with the general settings. This settings section is common for all the form fields and contains almost the same set of options. Let's take a closer look at the text field. Field label. It is a name that appears above the field bar and is visible to the users. It usually shows the users what kind of information this field requires. For example, it can be name, email, or country. Form field name. This name is visible only to you and is used as an ID. Usually, it originates from the field label. Be aware that you can use only Latin letters for this name. Numbers, hyphens, and underscores are also acceptable, but don't leave spaces. If you want to use 2 words to name the field, divide them with the underscore or hyphen. Field description. If you need to give the user some additional explanations about how to fill in the field, you can do it in the description. The text you insert into this text bar will appear under the field. Now, default value. The data you place here will be automatically added to the field. The user will be able to change it, however, if he doesn't do that, this information will be added instead. Presets are used mainly to fill the field with the information already known. For example, it can be used for the logged-in users, so name and email fields will already contain their data. More information on how to use presets you can find in our overview tutorial. As for the field settings, here you can specify the field type, then set minimal and maximum length, and also set input mask. Masks will help users better understand what information is needed. In a moment, I will use it for a phone field, so stay tuned. The last settings section here is advanced. So, a placeholder. And the text you will type in here will be shown in the bar until the user clicks on it. You can write an example of data you want the user to put in. Unlike the default value, this text doesn't count as data that fills in the bar, so if the field is required, the user would still have to insert their own information. Let's leave it empty for now. Add Previous Page button. If you have used the form break field to create several independent pages, you might want to give the users an opportunity to turn back to the previous page. In this case, turn this toggle on and type in the name of the button in the previous page button label bar. Field visibility. You can make a certain field invisible for some users. Here you can choose who will be able to see it. All users, the ones who are logged in, or those who are not. And the last one here, CSS class name. This bar is for the CSS code if you would like to add it. Alright, these were the settings for the text field. The only thing I will change here is the input mask for the phone field. Different countries have different phone numbers, so you can always adjust this info. Mask type can be also set to date time, allowing you to make, for example, a birth date field. Also, you can change mask visibility and set mask placeholder. And now let's take a look at the radio field. This Contact Us form pattern has 2 types of preferred methods of communication: email and phone. However, it can be also customized. You can pull the information from the post or meta fields or set everything manually. Let's transform it, for example, into a type of request like question, suggestion, and complaint. First of all, I will change the field label into Choose Type of Request. And when you click on the Manage Items button, you will be able to edit the options simply changing the label and value. Options can be cloned or added through the Add New Option button. That's it. Message and submit fields have almost the same settings, so I think we can move on to the JetForm settings. Yes, everything I talked about before was block settings, and these are specifically for the JetForm. And this settings section allows you to define some general layout and appearance features, and they are set for the whole form, which means that they will be true for all the fields you add to the form. Field layout defines how the field bar and the field label correspond to each other. And there are two options: column, the label is placed over the field bar, and a row, the label is placed in one row with the bar to the left. Required mark. The fields with the required mark are the ones that the user cannot leave empty, and they won't be able to submit the form without filling in those fields. If you toggle on is required on your form fields, you will be able to set the appearance of the required mark if you need a specific symbol. If you leave it empty, there will be a default asterisk symbol. Submit type. In this drop-down menu, you can choose how the page will behave after the user hits the Submit button. Page reload means the page will be reloaded. Or AJAX, the page won't be reloaded because the data was transferred without interrupting its work. Enable Form Pages Progress. This toggle can be useful if you divide the form into several parts using the form break field. I won't stop on the rest of the settings since we have them covered in our overview tutorial and also separate videos like how to add a reCAPTCHA to a form or post-submit actions overview, so don't forget to check them out. Okay, by default, the design settings of every element on the page in WordPress are defined by the website template. Colors, fonts, shapes, and other details are set for the whole site, and you cannot change them for a separate element. However, with the JetStyleManager plugin, styling options become available in JetFormBuilder. And there are two sets of design options in the JetFormBuilder plugin: and the style settings of every form field and style settings which can be applied to the whole form. Individual settings of the form field have a bigger priority than the general ones. This means that if you do some changes in, for example, the design settings of the text field, the settings chosen for the whole form will affect the text field only partially or will not affect it at all. The style settings can be opened by clicking on the Block Style button. It is available when you click on the Separate field block. And there will be styling options exactly for this block, and depending on the blocks, and they can be different. For example, for the text field, you'll see these options, and for the radio field, there will be different ones. JetStyleManager allows you to style every element of the field, so basically what you can find here is typography settings, alignment, padding, margin, border, and colors. Of course, you can leave a form as it is, but we won't be sticking to the default design. My form will be without labels on top of the fields. Instead, I'm gonna move them to the placeholder. In case it's a phone field, I'll need to turn the input mask off. Type of request will be changed into preferred methods of communication. And lastly, I'll do the same steps for the message. Submit label can be changed as well, however, I'm okay with it. And now moving on to the style. First of all, in the text input, I will adjust the size of the text, set a family font. To get rid of the field border, go to border type, set it to solid, then unlink sides, and set 1 pixel for the bottom. Lastly, I will set the border color. And we can move on to the content and a label. As I don't have a label in this field, the only thing I will change here is content bottom margin. It will add some space between the fields. In the required mark, I will set this orange color, and we're done with the text fields. Moving on to the radio field. This one will have more styling options. In the items, let's change filter's position into line, and then adjust space between and horizontal offset. To the item and label options, I will apply the same steps that I did before, changing its text size and font. Now a radio. Here you can set a radio size and also set colors for the normal and checked state. First of all, I will configure a border type to solid. A border width will be 2 pixels. As for the border color, I'll pick this blue one, so it matches my website's theme. Background color is white. For the checked, I'll do the same thing, but border width will be 1 pixel, and this time I will set blue color both for the border and background. Alright. In the content, again I will add bottom margin, but it's fully optional. Also, don't forget to style the required mark. The last field we need to customize is message. Under the text area, you can adjust the height of the field. Let it be, for example, 30. And then I will use the same font. Also adjust the field border. And add bottom margin in the content. It will add space between the message and the button. Lastly, let's work on a submit button. The size of the button can be easily changed by adjusting the button width or padding. Then I will place it in the middle of the form, change the text font, and also I need to make round corners. For that, let's change border type to solid and set border radius to 25 pixels. There will be no border color, however I'll set colors for normal and hover states. Let it be white for the text and this bright pink for the normal background, and also an orange one for the hover state. We're done. Once you're satisfied with the result, click Publish. And now simply add the form you just created to any page. Let's go back to the dashboard and open Pages. Choose any page or create a new one. On this page, you can add the same JetForm block, and in the form settings, choose the right form. If you need to adjust the page space a bit, you can add columns and add JetForm to the middle one. And don't be scared that it looks a bit ugly, simply adjust the width of the columns in the settings. Great! By the way, there will be more form settings to adjust the position of the field by changing field layout, setting a required mark, and choosing Submit type. Just keep in mind that the settings you've set previously when creating a form will rewrite these ones. Here on this page, you will also see styling options, but they will be mainly for the form break field block and messages of success and error. Feel free to customize them as well. Let's publish the page. And here is our awesome Contact Us form made fully in Gutenberg with the help of JetFormBuilder plugin with a tiny style sparkle from our free JetStyleManager plugin. Let's fill it out and click Submit. Form successfully submitted. Guys, and don't forget to set post-submit actions, otherwise you'll see an error message. By the way, you're free to use the forms you create with the JetFormBuilder not only in Gutenberg, but also in Elementor. Simply open your forms, copy the shortcode, and paste it to any Elementor page using the shortcode widget. And now you know that creating contact forms with the JetFormBuilder plugin is easy as pie. And that was it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. By the way, don't forget to check all the links in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.